Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is a Panzerkampfwagen T nur Art. It's a Tier 4 German light tank. It's located on the southwest spawn of Live Oaks and it's under the command of Heimblood 76. Or Heimblood, I think. Okay, this tank has got a 5cm gun, capable of 70 alpha, and penetrating 67mm of armor with standard ammo, and it goes up to 130 with the APCR. It's basically a Panzer 38T, which has been redeveloped by using a bigger engine, by more armor, by using welded armor instead, and turned it into a much faster tank, but it actually has a slower acceleration. Well, he's spotting the enemy nicely at this moment. Found a Wolverine. He's not going to open fire though, because he's spotting for his team at the moment. He will fire later though, obviously. At the moment he just needs to see where the enemy is, let his teammates see where they are, and then they can react accordingly. Now, they started development work on this tank in the 1940s, but it was actually discontinued after they made some prototypes, and instead they went with a different design altogether. It would have been quite interesting actually, because the Panzer 38T was actually made at Pilsen. It was one of the designs that came from the light Viz 38, the Czech tank that was produced before the war. And of course the Germans adopted that tank because it was, well, the Pilsen can make plenty of them, and it was quite a decent tank. But of course it wasn't that great as a reconnaissance tank, and the Panzerkampfwagen 38 nur Art, which means state of the art, is a much better tank because it's faster, able to nip in and out and get the information and then come back to its lines to report, or radio the information back. Well, at the moment he's spotted a few enemy, but he's only picked up 629 hit points of spotting assist so far. This is a quite advanced position actually he's got to, because normally that's where it would be where the enemy tanks would be located if they were spotting on his team. Looks to me like what he's going to do instead, he's going to go round the other side of the map and try and attack the enemy on the other side. Now, as you can see, it's very slow to accelerate, but it does have a fairly good top speed of 64 kilometers an hour, 20 back, and the 5cm gun is the sort of gun that was actually later put into the Panzer Mark III to be an anti-tank gun. Yeah, it's quite a nippy little tank. I quite enjoy this tank. Well, cross the lake towards the railway line. Oh, gets a bit deep there. Yeah. Always worries me with some of the tanks, they're a bit slow getting across, and you always fear that you might drown if you do try to go across. Okay, he's being very careful to pop up where there's a bit of cover. He'll do the spotting around here. Doesn't appear to be any enemy in sight though. Their team's doing well so far. They're 3 up on the enemy. Okay. He probably feels that he's actually safer to move up on this side, the lake side, than the other. But, oh, that's it. He spotted a Valiant. He's got better view range than the Matilda down below. Is there anybody else over there? Oh, there is! Marder! Oh, that's a Tier 4 tank destroyer, based on the same vehicle actually. That's also on the 38T. Oh! Almost went into the KV-1. Okay, makes it across. Yep. He might be able to get shots on this Marder from alongside the railway wagon. Of course, the Marder might respond in the same way. Can he get shots? Not yet, but he has been spotted. That Marder's looking in this direction. Yeah, that was probably a wise move to pull away there. If he tried to get some shots, he might have received one back. And of course, that guy's got a nasty anti-tank gun. Let's have another look, though. Oh, it's been spotted again. Okay. Yeah, not having a lot of luck there. And, oh, there's a 14 TP over there. Now, he's going to back up here because he'll move faster forward. The 14 TP is right down at the end of the peninsula, so I'm afraid there's a ridgeline in the way. He can't get a shot on him. Not yet. Not unless he tries to cross the water. Now, if he goes up this end, he can get around the back of the train and shoot the Acton Dry City anti-tank gun in the back. But he's been spotted again. And oh, it was a Lux who saw him. And there's the Acton Dry City Tamada. Oh, no, missed him with the first one. And he got hit, but he took him out. Oh, he's lost a third of his hit points. But now he's got the ass of that Valiant. And it looks like Arty is trying to get him as well. He's locked on, but loses the lock. Yeah, he's probably better off going up the other end because there's Arty up there trying to shoot him. The M44 and the Bishop and the Sturmpanzer II. Or Sturmpanzer II, I should say. Oh. Now, he just saw the Lux looking in his direction. And he probably thought, yeah, don't want to go up that end. Not while the Lux is still there. So instead he's actually retreating. Oh, KV-1 went down. Oh dear. Unfortunately, our team hasn't done that well in the city. In fact, he's trying to tell the Matilda not to advance any longer, just to hold the enemy back. And the problem is that Lux, I think, he's going to run rings around the Marder, so he probably needs to help take out that Lux if he can. But he's decided he's going to come back to defend the cap because I'm afraid there's only 2 tanks and 3 Arty on this side defending the cap area. Yeah, that is a really dangerous thing to do, to go over that bit. You would be much better off going around the building than trying to get over that thing. Okay, he's going to use the lakeside. That will mask his approach because there's plenty of trees on the lakeside. The only thing is, unfortunately, it does actually leave you visible to enemy who are across the water. Oh, that type didn't see him. And he saw the type, so he can get rounds into him. He's a one-shot now. If he can creep up on that type, and he's got the speed to do it, he's slow to accelerate, but he can get there when he needs to. Okay, he's going to build up speed, cutting across here, pop up, and take one shot into that Type 64, finish him off. There he is. Thank you. Nice kill. Okay, Churchill 1. That's a higher tier opponent. In fact, the Type 64 was a tier 6 and he's only tier 4. So he's taking out a much higher tier opponent there. Mind you, he only had to fire 2 shots to do it. Trying to use the bush to creep up. Looks like Arty is trying to focus on our Valiant. So he's going to go around that, use the bush over here to see if he can get shots on the Churchill. Where is he? No sign of him yet. There he is. Just missed the opportunity there, but he will present another one. In fact, you can fire through that little hut. That's better. One more. Oh, just missed it, but he was seen. Arty will focus on him if they can. And there is a Sturmpanzer 2. That's an Arty. In fact, our Arty, our M44, is facing off against that guy just now. Where's the Churchill? It's gone behind the building. Might be worth driving over there and shooting him in the ass. The M44 just killed the Sturmpanzer 2. So all he needs to do is drive up and take out the Churchill. He's actually used the scenery to actually creep up on the guy. He sees the bishop. He's doing it in a roundabout way. Now I should be able to get him from here. Thank you very much. One in the ass, and that's the end of his game. Nice shot. Unfortunately, the Arty at that moment decided to respond. But he should go unspotted now, and he can turn around and come back into enemy territory. Unfortunately, the Matilda on the other side of the lake, on the railway line, didn't survive. So he's actually now trying to recover and get back to protect his cap and, of course, his Arty.
Requesting support.
Yeah, there's the Valiant. Now he's tough to get through in his armour, but the thing is that the Acton Dreisig is pretty fast. So all he needs to do is go around the guy and shoot him in the ass again, just like he did with the Churchill, and he can do that through the woods. The only problem is the looks in the woods. He's got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage for his team now. And there's the looks. Okay, now he did see him, but I don't think there's anybody in these woods. So he can scoot through the woods really quickly and get behind the Valiant and the looks and shoot them in the ass. Well, the looks is much reduced on his hit points because he's been taking fire from the Arty and the Valiant. Is he trying to get as far round as he can to shoot them? There they are. There's the Valiant. And the Valiant's responded and come round this way anyway. Oh, he got clobbered by the M44. Oh, and that he'd spotted for the kill shot on the Valiant by our Sturmpanzer 2. But he still needs to kill that looks. Oh, and the M44 hits him again. This time round tracked him. There's still two Artys out there, an M44 and a Bishop, and of course that looks. If you can get rid of the looks, then all he's got is the Arty to deal with. The looks is in sight. There he is. One shot to kill. Yes! That's it. Okay, so now he just needs to kill the Arty. And they're both higher tier Arty than him. The Bishop's tier 5, the M44's tier 6. He's tier 4. So he's going to earn extra XP for taking them out. But he also might actually get a medal. Because there is a medal for killing two higher tier Arty. So long as they're at least a tier higher than your own. And he found one of them straight away. It's the Bishop. Now he's aiming for the hull. That's a big mistake. You should always aim for the casement around the gun. That's it. He's doing it now. Oh, missed it with that round. The reason being that the hull is the hull of a Valentine. The Valentine's got very strong armour at the front, but the casement around the gun doesn't have strong armour. Okay, we've had the 1 minute warning and the 2 minute warning. Here's the M44. He fires one. Need to dodge the guy. Otherwise that's going to happen. But now the M44's fired. He's nothing he can do except try and bully Heimblood. And Heimblood's going to keep firing in until he's dead. And there you go. But he's now got to fix his tracks, get his driver back in and get moving before that Bishop decides to pay him a visit. Now if I was him, I'd go round the corner. No, don't go directly to the Bishop. That's it. Turn to one side. Approach him from an oblique angle. And there's the Bishop. He sees him. But he takes him out with one shot anyway. He gets a top gun. And he gets that Yoshio Tamada Medal and the Pascucci's as well. Very nice. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, first class tanker for Heimblood 76 in the Pz.Kpfw 38 nur Art. He managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and a 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. He did get that Yoshio Tamada medals. They're very difficult to get because normally you have to be bottom tier and the Artys have to be much higher tiers than you. And in this case, he took out 2, which is very well done. Normally I do it in an ELC and I'm taking out tier 10 and tier 9 Arty. That's where I've got my Yoshio Tamadas. But he did it off a lower tier. He got an Orlik medal for killing 2 or more enemy tanks or tank destroyers which were at least 1 tier higher than him, and in this battle that would have been the Type 64 and the Churchill 1. He got a Pascucci's medal for killing 2 Arty, and he got a Top Gun for killing 6 of the enemy. In this game he got 6 exactly, and his win 8 from the battle, 8,799. Very nice indeed. Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, when you look at team score, he didn't get the highest damage. In fact, the highest damage went to the M44 in the enemy team, the one he killed at the end. 2,436 hit points of damage to him. He must have been a bit disappointed that he lost the game, but he did actually get a high caliber, so he would be compensated. When it came to damage, Heimblood managed 1,016, and the next highest scorer after the M44 was in fact their Type 64. The 2 of the tanks that he took out. And after that, it was the Valiant on his own team, the one that survived with 1,339. When it came to kills, he was streets ahead of the rest. Yes, 6 kills for Heimblood, 4 kills for the M44, 3 kills for the Type 64. And when it came to base XP, he was right at the top of the table with 916, 808 for the Valiant, and 749 for that M44. Yes, he did get a higher one than the Grilla, mainly because he did so much damage. Heimblood fired 25 rounds in that game, got 19 direct hits and 17 penetrations, damage of 1,016 hit points, of which only 73 hit points were at more than 300 meters. He received 3 hits, 2 of them were penetrations, and 4 hits by way of splash damage. Yes, he got hit by the Arty quite a lot during that game. And 7 enemy vehicles spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, and 1,032 hit points of spotting assist. On a premium count, he earned 29,900 credits, but he did have to fire a fair amount of premium ammunition in that game, and he actually ended up with a small loss of 15,991 credits. He received 1,374 XP, but there was no multipliers on this occasion, so that's all the experience points he took away. But it was a very good game, and it was a carry. He did carry his team. He was operating on both sides, on both flanks, and quickly firefighting the mess that his teammates were leaving behind him by getting at the enemy and stopping them from taking the cap. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching.